Hello, and welcome to part 1 of our presentation about editing for data and visuals presented by David Brandt and Cindy Hawley. In this video, we will review some important aspects, key terms, and concepts to keep in mind when editing for both topics. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you find this information useful. So first, we'll start with editing data. Data is ingrained in today's modern life just as much as we rely on electricity or running water. Some common objectives when editing for data include the following: detect errors that would impact outputs, detect inconsistent values, provide overall accuracy, and validate the data for the purpose of its collection. There are two main data management tools that are most often used, and those are databases and spreadsheets. So how do we use databases and spreadsheets? Databases are primarily used to store textual and numerical data. They make it easy to sort, combine, and publish information, and can even be useful in storing more complex files such as graphics or sound files. Can you think of a database you often use? A good example would be as simple as Google Images, which is commonly used for various searches. Spreadsheets are primarily used to store numerical data. They can also be used to store text, but we do not see this as one of the common practices. A great function of spreadsheets is its ability to perform calculations of data and present them in a way that's useful to the audience. Often we see these represented in tables and graphs. When editing data, there are a few different approaches that we can take to evaluate the information. Here are some strategies that are commonly practiced when editing data. First, we have automatic editing. These are editing tools that are typically built into data systems already. There isn't much human intervention with this type of editing. Then we have selective editing. This focuses on target parts of data and edits the data section by section. Next, we have micro-editing. This focuses on finding errors by individual observation. So this is more of the detailed edit. Then we have macro editing, which focuses on the whole data set and potential errors impacting the information as a whole. When evaluating data, there are a few common errors that often occur that we should watch out for as editors. Some of those common errors include completeness errors, which typically are concerned with making sure all the data is there. This would be recognizing that all the information is present and nothing is missing from the data. Consistency errors. These types of errors may happen if data doesn't follow the plan that is perhaps laid out by a certain guide or style sheet. For instance, if you're working with numbers, making sure that all the numbers are formatted in the same way. Lastly, another common error that we see are input errors. These are typically something that can be human error when handling data. This could be as simple as a number being put in incorrectly or in the wrong spot that's impacting the overall project. These are just a few of the common errors that we see when editing for data. So there's some information about editing data. I hope that you found this information useful and hopefully even learned something new today. Now I'm going to pass it off to Cindy in our part 2, who will go over some great information about editing for visuals.